I would like to recognize all of those that have come here today to share their New Year's Day. The Mayor of the City of Buffalo, Byron Brown, Congressman Kathy Higgins, Congresswoman Kathy Hochul and Brian Higgins, who are with us today, all of the elected officials and members of the judiciary. We thank you for coming. Now I would like to have Mark's parents join us here on the platform, and also Supreme Court Justice Tracy Bannister, who will deliver the oath of office.
I think we need to be near the microphone. Okay, you're going to hold the Bible. You get very close here. Okay, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Mark Charles Poloncarz,
I, Mark Charles Poloncarz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Erie County Executive
the duties of the office of Erie County Executive
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
There you go.
Thank
Erie
you.
County Executive.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for all joining me here today. I am honored to be here and truthfully to be in all of your presence. I'm here because many of you had faith in me and supported me, many of whom, truthfully, too many to mention individually by name are here today, but truthfully, I want to thank a few. First, I want to thank Cindy Abbott-Littrow for hosting today's events. Cindy, thank you. For New York State Supreme Court Justice Tracy Bannister for helping me to administer the oath. For Father Joseph Bain for those kind words as well as those thoughtful words of what we as public servants need to do. And also to the Reverend Dr. Chris Brown, who will be giving the benediction later. Thank you for joining us here. I want to thank my family, my mother Janice, my father Charles, my two younger brothers, Rob and his family. Kevin could not be here today, as well to all the other extended members of my family who are here. They have all done so much to make this day possible. They really don't know how it's impacted me over the years. They've made me the person I am today and stood by me every step of the way. When I made that first decision to run for comptroller, and when I made my decision to run for county executive, when some people thought, Mark, maybe you shouldn't do that, they were there all the way. Thank you for your continuing support. Thank you. To all of our elected officials, there's, as I say, too many to name, but there are a few I do want to note. To our tremendous congressional delegation of Brian Higgins and Kathy Hochul, thank you for joining me here today for the work that you're doing. For the work that you're doing on behalf of Erie County and Western New York and Washington, I thank you, and I know do so the rest of the people. To my colleagues in Erie County government, there are many of you here today, fellow countywide elected officials as well as members of the legislature. Thank you for your bipartisan support and showing up today. We will work together to create a better community. To Mayor Byron Brown and the members of the Buffalo City Common Council, once again, thank you for your attendance. We need to work together to create a better community, and that starts, we have to have a strong urban and suburban and rural, and we need to work together to do that, and I look forward to that. To my friends in state government, there are many of you here today, starting with who is not here today, in case I make it seem like he is. Governor Andrew Cuomo, thank you for your support over the past year. And to the members in state government, we will be talking, as you know, to talk about issues as we go along, but I appreciate your support and your attendance here today. To my friend Lynn Lenahan, you've been a mentor to me politically. You stood by me when many people didn't think it was possible for me to win the comptroller's race and the county executive race. Thank you for your support. I think I have a few friends in here from organized labor. I will never be ashamed of my blue-collar upbringing or the immense support I receive from the hardworking men and women of this community. Though some may criticize us, we will work together to create a better community, and I am proud of your support. Thank you. To my friends in the judiciary, I am still a legal attorney, though I hopefully will never practice another day in front of you again. Thank you for appearing before me today. I had an incredible campaign team with thousands of volunteers and supporters. These people dedicated countless hours of their time during the past year, and for that matter, the last 6 years, knocking on doors, making phone calls, passing out literature, even getting paper cuts from labeling envelopes. I thank you for believing in me and working so hard, not just for me, but for all of us. I would not be here without your support. Thank you. And to my transition team, led by Michael Joseph, this community owes you a debt of gratitude, and I owe you my enduring admiration and thanks for the volunteer effort you put in on behalf of the people of Erie County. The goal of your team was to help me build a strong and capable administration that is representative of all the people of Erie County, and I believe you have done that. Thank you for your time and for your talents in helping me to identify an exceptional team, true public servants. Thank you for all the effort you've put in the last 2 months. And of course, none of this would have been possible without the support of the people of Erie County. 6 years ago, you gave me the privilege, at the height of one of the worst fiscal crises we had ever seen, to serve as your Erie County Comptroller, your independent taxpayer watchdog. Now you've given me the privilege to serve as your Erie County Executive. I am humbled by this privilege. I will never take it lightly, and I thank you for your support over the last 6 years, and I will need your support going forward. But thank you for all you've done in the last 6 years, and thank you for coming here today. Today is an incredible honor. As I said, it is humbling. And as my administration goes forward, there is one promise I can make to the people of Erie County. I will never forget who my bosses are. You, the men and women of Erie County. Over the last several years, I think we've learned a lot about what government and ourselves are and could be, and what government is and should be. Government is not a business, and it should not be run like one. Now, I represented businesses when I practiced law, and business is good. Making money is good. But a business is concerned with maximizing profits to benefit a select few, its owner or shareholders. However, a government is concerned with the welfare of those it represents, all of its citizens, not just taxpayers. We as a government represent the youngest child that may need protection from an abusive adult, or the oldest adult that may not be able to turn anywhere else other than the greater community to provide for his or her basic medical and health needs. We represent both of them, regardless of whether they are taxpayers at their times of their lives, and we must never forget that. We represent the public good. Government exists to take on precisely those tasks that the private sector won't or can't. We unite to care for the penniless and provide a safety net for those who have fallen, maintain common amenities such as parks and libraries, and maintain a safe infrastructure with broad value for the benefit of all. When times are tough, businesses look to maximize their profits by spending less. either reducing the quality of the product they sell or the service they provide, or by laying off workers. The business's bottom line always comes first, and there is little regard for the social regard of the people involved. With the government, the people come first, and elected officials are just stewards of the public's assets. Our responsibility is not only to manage treasured assets like libraries and parks for the citizens of today, but to hold them in a public trust for the generations to come. And when times are tough, ensure that the people's government and the services it provides are there for those who need it most. I think we would all agree that lately we've been facing some tough times in Erie County and Western New York. However, lately county government has been acting too much like a business and abandoning its true owners, the people, when they need it most. When the public needed their libraries their most, ours were cut. When people looked to important, though small, cultural organizations to not only entertain, but to enrich the mind, these organizations struggled to keep their doors open after funding disappeared. When our poorest, and often our youngest citizens, needed access to quality, affordable health care, health clinics were closed. And when people were forced to turn to public assistance, they were met by a government that viewed them with disdain. Well, that all changes. And instead of doing less, we're going to do more and give Erie County residents a government that truly represents them, a government they can be proud of again. We're going to do it not only by ensuring that government provides the service the public needs and, for that matter, deserves, but we're going to do it efficiently and as effectively as possible. We're going to do it by spending your hard-earned dollars more wisely. I'm proud to say that this has already started with the adoption of the 2012 amended budget. With cooperation between the legislature's majority and minority and the former county executive, we were able to come up with a modest amendment package that reflected the priorities and values of the greater community, what I talked about as a candidate, and we did so without raising taxes a single penny. We were able to restore important community priorities like the rodent control program, Operation Primetime, and funding to the smaller cultural organizations. We were also able to restore cuts to the Comptroller's office that would have certainly weakened its ability to do its task, as well as those that would have seriously jeopardized the Department of Services' ability to help those in need at the time they needed it most. We did this by focusing on the needs of the constituents and working together to meet those needs. This is just the beginning of what will be a cornerstone of my administration: cooperation between branches of government while ensuring we follow sound budgeting practices and fiscal restraints. We will work together to spend within our means without compromising the quality of service we provide. As your comptroller, I spent the last 6 years identifying waste, fraud, and abuse within county government, much of which could result in millions of dollars of tax savings. However, very few of those recommendations have been implemented by prior administrations. As your county executive, this week I will issue several executive orders to implement many of those recommendations that I made as comptroller, and I pledge to work with the new comptroller to find additional savings and efficiencies going forward. I understand the need for checks and balances in government. I am going to work with my partners in government, and we're going to work together, finding common ground, listening to each other, and respecting one another in our daily duties. That is what the public demands, and that's what we will provide to them. Erie County is much more than any one community or any one place. It's urban, suburban, and rural communities. It's cities, towns, villages, and even some hamlets. Over the past 6 years, I've had the opportunity to travel from one corner of the county to the next, talking to thousands of Erie County residents, all as diverse as the communities we live in. And although the issues and opinions differed from one place together, we need to realize we are all in this together. I am here today because Democrats and Republicans, conservatives, liberals, and independents placed their faith in me. If my administration is to succeed, it must be guided by partnership, not partisanship. The voters are demanding the best of their elected officials. Our best can only come by elevating cooperation over conflict. I am committed to working collaboratively with all our colleagues at every level of government. In particular, as I noted, I look forward to building a strong relationship with Mayor Byron Brown of Buffalo. The relationship between the city and county is so important because our futures are linked. A thriving city will directly lead to thriving suburbs and rural communities. We will work together. Although we've come a long way in the past 7 years, there are many challenges ahead for Erie County. At the top of this list is to stop our region's decline. The release of the 2010 census delivered a stark reminder of the reality that truly confronts us. People try to explain population and job loss as an upstate problem. Well, it isn't an upstate problem. It's our problem. The fact is that while almost every other area north of Westchester County saw population growth in upstate New York, the exodus from Erie County and western New York continues. To stem that tide, job number one of my administration will be promoting job creation and economic development. And while government cannot create jobs on its own, it can create an economic climate that invites businesses in and encourages it to grow and create jobs. For too long, Erie County has been riddled with missed opportunities, plagued with disappointment as the result of misguided policies, and our local economy has been crippled by poor leadership in the public and private sector, and silver bullet projects that never panned out. We have long anticipated when we would finally implement our plans for growth and invest in projects that actually provide a return on their investment. The days of disappointment are over in Erie County. New leadership has arrived at the federal, state, and local level, and tremendous opportunities lie before us. We have the ability to lead our state in innovation. We must capitalize on the emerging sectors of our economy, as well as the unique geographic location and natural resources that we have. My administration understands that we cannot simply live by our failed economic development policies of the past. We must compete on a national and global level, and only can do that by creating a better economic development system going forward. My administration will work to end the divisions between our unnecessary myriad of economic development agencies, and instead move to truly create a one-stop shop for businesses to locate and expand here. We will work not only to bring new businesses in from across the country, but also, for the first time, we will finally focusing on leveraging our strategic international border to attract businesses from Canada. Canada is our nation's largest trading partner, and its economic center is 90 miles away. But the way we've treated it over the last decades, it might as well be 9,000 miles away. That changes today, as we work to create a new relationship with our friends from across the Canadian border so that they are not just shoppers in our malls, but investors in our community. Thank you. As my administration goes forward, many challenges lay ahead, but also many opportunities as well. And when our work is done, let those who come after us see that we stopped talking about the future that we hoped for and started taking the action to get there by making decisions to do what was right, though difficult, over what was easy but wrong. Today, county government is back in the hands of those who own it, the people of Erie County. We have a lot of work to do, and I'm up to the challenge. I hope you are too, because I need your help. I can't do this alone. Starting today, let's make Erie County the place we know it can be. We don't need to imagine it anymore. Thank you, and have a Happy New Year, everyone.